Hi. Welcome back to Two Kims.
One pod.
I'm Peter Kim.
And I'm your other Kim Unji.
That's right. And we're not going to edit that at all.
Yeah.
We're going to keep it in there because that's what you're going to get live, baby. That's the type of shit you're going to get live when we're at the Lincoln Lodge Thursday, November 16th. Please come on out in the Chicagoland area. If you're around there, we'd love to see you live.
Come on out.
We're going to do the podcast live, all your favorite segments. We're going to do our traumas live. We're going to do our tops and bottoms, our bitches get into it. And we're also going to have some special guests stop by. Some Chicago legends, perhaps.
Friends?
Acquaintances. Chicago acquaintances might stop by. And you know what? It's going to be a surprise, and you're going to love it. All right. So come on out, and December 16th, we're going to be in LA at the Lyric Hyperion. So please come to that. Same thing. We're going to do the show, and it's going to be live. And you know what? You never know what's going to happen, and you could only be there for that. And how cool is that you get to experience all the comedy, the drama, the magic.
You have to be there. It's you have to be there sort of situation. You had to be there.
You had to be there. It's a water cooler moment, honey. Get into it.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into our show. What's up, everyone? It's your host, Peter Kim and Unji Kim. And in today's episode, I talk about a situation that I was invited to that I felt a little uncomfortable with at a beautiful house right behind Chateau Marmont. Did I behave myself or did I act a fool?
And in my trauma this week, I talk about how often I was Korean for Halloween, and I beg you to call your reps.
Yeah. And I go to a straight Halloween party. Full stop. Get into all of this and more in today's episode of Two Kims, One Pod.
Bye.
Before we get into the show, let me tell you, the last two episodes has looked incredible.
Absolutely.
You look like you're on the World Poker Tour. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just need like sunglasses and like a cigarette pulling out of your mouth.
Like hat.
Yeah, down. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry for if you're only listening to this audio, you are missing the most of the story, baby, because a picture's worth 1,000 words.
Oh, and I'm constantly reacting to everything Peter says because it's outrageous. And
yeah. And traumatizing. But
Sure,
anyway,
I
just want to say shout out to Lincoln Lodge. They've been really great. Also, a quick shout out I want to say to the Patreon fans. We love you guys.
We need
you guys. We need you. We really need you. So quick shout out to all our Patreon fans. We loved your feedback, all the comments you're leaving on the Patreon. And if you haven't been on the Patreon, go check it out. There's a lot of like premium stuff that you won't see ever anywhere. The first 100 episodes of Ajumma Show, the old stuff. Come on, bitch, get into it. All right.
And also, Peter's constantly jeopardizing his show business career by spilling so much tea.
Yes, I do go into a lot of detail, and I do name names. I do name names. All right. Now it's that time to get into our highlights and lowlights of our week in a segment we call Rock Hard Tops and Soft Flaccid Bottoms. Yeah. My top today, my top this week is, I will say, I was put into a situation that I would normally spiral and because of that not act like myself.
Okay. Spiral.
You know? Yeah, like socially, like be doing too much.
Sure. Yeah. That's me every day.
First.
Yeah.
Yes. I was in a place where I almost devolved into Unji Kim.
Yeah.
And
like jeopardizing everything, hurting people's feelings.
Yes. And I got to say, I pulled back. And that's my top this week. So let me go into it.
Yeah.
I won't say who it was or where he works, but I went to, I think I sent you pictures.
Yes.
I was invited to the home of the head of a major studio. Now,
these are elite gays. These are elite gays.
Elite gays, rich and famous gays.
Yes.
I don't know about famous, but powerful gays.
Elite.
Yes. They were talking about plays and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I had no business being there.
Something that makes them elite, Peter. The
For
fact
me,
they go see
if you're talking about a play,
the fact they go see live theater is not evidence of that.
I'm not even a groundling. I'm not even there. So that's how far we are that I think talking about plays is elite. You know, and there are some like East Coast, like Ivy League taste
so cultural
vibes.
capital.
Yeah. They're talking and
New Yorker vibe.
Critically analyzing art, and I haven't heard of any of the art. That kind of situation where I'm just kind of like, you know, just.
Wow, so, that's really something. That's
wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to look that up. But I
how do you spell that? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Say it into my microphone. So I was invited for dinner, and I know the person who is dating that head of studio.
Okay.
So I know the gay that he's dating.
Mm-hmm.
Also a wonderful writer, artist, etc. Whatever. And we're there. We've worked together. We've met on my birthday, on my 40th. So it's not first time meeting, but it's the first time going to their house. And the house, do you know the Chateau Marmont?
I am aware of it.
The famed.
Yes, I am aware.
The famed.
Because every single celebrity spiral, they always spend some time at the Marmont.
They spiral there. Yeah, at the Marmont.
Yeah.
Apparently, the lore is if you live in the back side of the hill of Chateau Marmont,
the bungalows.
Not the bungalows, but like the house, the actual neighborhood, the houses.
Oh, okay,
in the neighborhood, because there's so much traffic and noise and partying or whatever happening, you know, the hoopla.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, they are granted room service, so you could call down to the Chateau Marmont and order room service to your home.
What?
What?
As compensation for simply being in the area.
For simply, of nonsense, of foolery.
So the fact that you are already so rich that you can live in that area.
Mm-hmm. And then, on top of that, they said, "We are so sorry. We are putting you into this dire situation. We will service you." And then I bet it's not even like cash on delivery or here's your Zelle or whatever. They probably have accounts there or something. You know what I mean? That they're just like, we'll settle it at the end of the year.
Every time I hear shit like this, I'm like, we got to get healthcare in this country. Like, I don't understand what the fuck is happening. We're talking about wealth like this. Like who...
Cuckoo bananas. Cuckoo bananas.
Why was my prescription for something that makes my brain work $50?
$75.
$75. No. And this is... Anyways,
they're getting Duck L'Orange walked up to their hill.
While they're talking about
up to the house.
Art, they're going to listen. You got to call your reps. We got to get we got to get healthcare. Oh my god. Okay, so you're at this person's house.
So I'm at this house. So you could imagine what this house looks like, right? So and it overlooks all of West Hollywood, glittering. Like imagine like any movie talking about the Hollywood Hills. That's exactly what it looks like.
Oh my god! The taste.
On top of that,
so fucking
this house, tasteful.
It's so fucking tasteful. The pictures, everything was so fucking tasteful. If I had money like that, everything would be gross.
Bitch.
It would be covered in caviar. Like it'd be like rot. It would be bad.
Gutted, rotted, disgusting.
Absolutely. People be like, who?
Filth.
Why did the Home Goods vomit in this mansion?
I was just about to say, yeah. Honey, she went to Marshall's for pillows?
This is TJ Maxx. I got Home Goods energy. I'd be like, oh, because I could afford all of the pillows? Yes.
Yeah. It's whenever you see a Ralph Lauren pillow, you're like, I'm in the dump.
Yes.
I'm in the dumps.
I'm like, oh, this is fancy.
Yeah. I know. That's us. That's the Ajumma vibe. That's like the Korean immigrant vibe. Oh, Ralph Lauren pillows.
Yeah.
The worst pillows, truly. Does not keep shape. I hate them. Anyway, we're getting back to rich stuff. Not only does this person live in that area, this person was recently, apparently some let's call her Gwyneth Paltrow. It wasn't. But some like A-list celeb walked by and left a note on their door asking if they could buy the place from him. Not on sale, not listed. Just an A-list, boop, dropped. And I was like, oh, why? Like, I'm sure there are houses just as nice or nicer, you know? And then he goes, yeah, but I'm on an island. And I say, what? And he goes, yeah, did you notice, like, if you drive up to the house, you can drive a circle around the house because it's on its own hill. So, like, it's not touching any other house. So they want, not only does this A-list celeb live in a bigger, better house, they were like, no, but this person has an island, and that's special. So I need to buy that house.
And to reach out because this person is so accustomed to getting what they want. And again, we gotta call our reps.
Call your reps.
We gotta
call your reps.
Like
email them. It's okay if it's templated.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So you could imagine already me and Eric like approaching this house with our Trader Joe's flowers and a fucking bottle of shit wine. Like, you know, like it's so devastating to see so much wealth and to sit in it and then to be like, okay, goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, I was dreaming for a second. You know, like, oh, a full marble island.
I mean, this is Parasite.
You know?
This is Parasite vibes.
Truly,
like,
I wanted, like, I could have lived in their attic.
Yes.
Like, they would not have known because we were only in the first half of the bottom of the house. The house, it was on an island behind Chateau Marmont. Like, it truly was like wealth like I haven't seen ever up close.
Yeah.
Only seen in like fiction, movies.
Sure.
You know, dreams.
Where it belongs. Where it belongs. Because that's crazy.
When you touch it, it starts to unravel.
Yeah.
You start to unravel. You're like, okay, what is this? How do I
mean,
what do
when
I do to get?
When we were texting about it, we were both talking about all the horrible things we'd be willing to do. We would both go full evil in order
Debase.
I mean,
I would, yeah. Truly, if I had children, they're up for sale.
I mean, chills when I had chills when I considered the things I would do for this. You know what I mean? And not only that, but we both have pretty strong morals, and I would say we're pretty progressive in our politics. But but it's like it was just I think with immigrant stuff and like
you get drunk.
I
felt
drunk with it. The proximity.
Oh my God!
I didn't even go to this
That's
house.
why immigrants love Trump. That's the exact thing. Because they're just like, oh, let me just be part and part. Let me just touch
Peter,
the golden threads of thine hair. Like that's how.
I didn't even go to this house, and I, by proxy, through Peter, felt this sort of overwhelming desire and yearning. I showed people these pictures like I was fucking there. Like I was there. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't even know any of the story. I'm not even close to it. You were close to it, and I'm acting like I was there. Like
I know. That's how spun out you were. So imagine how I felt, right? So I'm like in the dining room. In these like the dining room chairs were tufted velvet. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like usually like that tufted stuff is for sitting by a roaring fire, you know, in the study. You don't put it near food. But that's what it was.
Yeah.
But anyway,
because he's got spares. He's got like whatever storage room
nothing.
has. Yeah.
It's nothing. It's just he's blowing a dandelion ball. You know, like that's how like ephemeral money is, I'm sure, to them. So I'm there, and I gotta say, I felt I wouldn't say I felt comfortable. I felt overwhelmed, but B, I didn't feel like 쪽팔려.
Really?
I didn't, and I thought I would. Mm-hmm. And in English, that means I didn't feel less than.
Like,
you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's credit to the
Embarrassed,
hosts.
yeah.
They were very down to earth. So like they were
gracious,
very,
yeah.
they weren't like hoity-toity, like don't use that glass. Like it wasn't like that, you know. Like it was very like we're rich, but we're fucking cool.
Yeah.
And like I told you, there was an artist there, someone who, again, I don't want to name names, but like someone who was part of a pretty big band.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, right? They're still big, right?
I would say
like,
iconic.
They had a sound.
Yes, like
Yeah.
of an era
Of an era.
that-
It transports me back to San Francisco, like around when I was coming out.
iconic.
So like
Iconic.
I know.
Like,
So imagine me
singular
being
sound
there.
of an era.
Singular sound.
Yeah.
Yes. The voices.
Yes.
The dun, dun, yeah, whatever. The instrumentals. Anyway, it's an indie rock band. We might let's talk about it on the Patreon. Anyway, so he was there, one of the main guys who started it, and like. So and Eric's a musician. So like he's also like in geek territory, right? But why this is a top is that while they were like having their conversation about plays and stuff, I just excused myself and went outside and started smoking a joint. Mm-hmm. And they don't smoke, I guess, so they don't have ashtrays or anything. So I was smoking at this head of studios thing, and he's like, hey, where are you ashing that?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, oh, the grass isn't real, so like don't burn the grass. And I was like, oh, I'm not ashing on the grass. I'm not a fucking animal. I found a flower pot. And he was like, oh, good. He was like, oh, good. And I go, it's already really dirty and dusty in there. There's nothing in there. So I felt like it was fine. And he goes, no, that's fine. I go, cool. And I felt so cool about like us not being weird because like they know that I'm a poor writer actor.
Sure.
I know that they are ahead of a studio.
Yes.
But there was no need for me to like
debase yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
I would have put that
I'm at
ash
your
in
home.
my hand, and I would have put it out in my actual palm and singed it and said nothing.
Yeah, I know. See, I couldn't do that. There was something about me being there and this being so overwhelmingly wealthy.
Yeah.
That like I think I just got lost in the fantasy. I was like, oh, I live here. I belong here.
You do.
I ordered from Chateau Marmont. Like I just like eased into it. I was like, oh, you guys don't have ashtrays? I'm gonna ash in this. This is already dirty. This is trash, right? And like
you're throwing this away, right? Like
yeah, like this is why would you keep this? And I
while you're stealing it.
Yeah, it wasn't until the guy who was like, I have to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to like run international global deals. So he was like, oh, and I was like, oh, we should go. And he was like, okay, so nice to see you. Gave us a hug and like ushered us out of the home. And then once we exited the home and stepped out of the arched, a beautifully manicured, like trestled arch, like we were back into our own.
You went through
lives.
the looking glass. Yeah, you went back through the looking glass.
Through the wardrobe, and we were like, fuck. Back to East Los Angeles.
East LA. By the trap house.
Now, so that was a top. My bottom was I went to a
that same experience.
pretty much. No, the bottom was I went to a straight Halloween party. And
oh my God, why?
Because I haven't been invited to gay ones. That's why.
That's a bottom.
Yeah. I know. That's a bottom. So I went and the lights were on. The lights were on.
At a straight Halloween party, the lights were
on. I know.
Okay, this is something that I've noticed. Straight people, you've forgotten how to fuck.
What's happening?
What's happening? Is this?
Are we bumping? Are we grinding?
Why are you forgotten how to fuck? I think straight people have forgotten how to fuck. Like truly, the lights on Halloween.
The lights are on Halloween. Turn the lights off. Spooky.
Do straight people not understand a vibe? You don't know how to.
I don't know.
You don't know how to create a vibe?
I don't think so. They're on the ones in the threes. Now here, I know, it's bad. So we went outside and we sat, and fortunately we talked to some people we knew, and it was great.
Okay.
Straight Halloween party. I know, and here's the thing, like when we knew we had to leave was when we overheard a clump of people talking about how Amazon truly is the best place to buy things. And me and Eric were like,
that's our cue to go.
We're out. We've run out of tape. The teleprompter is empty. The script.
The studio audience is filing out. Like,
they're filing out. They're on the lunch break. Honey, we're cut. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Let's hear it. Give it up for Jeff Bezos. That's a wrap on Jeff Bezos. Thank you, everyone. That's
Great
so
work, everybody.
crazy. There was a full-on earnest conversation.
Conversation by a clump of party goers.
So it wasn't just
and I was
one.
like, what am I doing here?
It was not just
this
one.
This is how desperate I am.
It was not one deranged straight person. It was a clump of
straights, men's.
That's called a murder. And so
murder of men.
It's a murder of men that were discussing.
Talking about how actually earnestly the best place for retail experience is Amazon.com. and I think they were talking about their costumes or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, where did you get it or whatever. So it was apropos to the theme of the party, but like that was like what the thesis was of the conversation. And we were like, we need to go. We need to find a gay person. So we went to our gay friend's house and smoked weed and like watched YouTube and saved the night. But it was dire. It was so dire. Unji, this is how bad it's become. Like, we don't get invited to things. So like we get invited to very little things. So we're going to these events. And listen,
a straight Halloween
no offense
party,
to
though.
the host. They had for the straights, I think it was a great time. For us, like, I needed to see some skin, some
absolutely
grinding, some bulging, some like it's Halloween.
Let's go.
Free.
Yeah, look at the baby Rexa. Let's go.
Bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
The evening starts with Dua Lipa. It starts with Dua Lipa. And then we transport, we're grinding in the middle. We're doing 90s hip hop, and then we're going into the boy bands, and then
that's it.
We're ending with Robin.
And then Mariah.
And Robin.
Yes, exactly. What's difficult here? Why is this? Anyway.
What's happening?
So that was my bottom. The bottom is that that I went to a straight party. Is that I don't have enough friends.
No. This is your bottom is.
That's what it.
You
that's
think you
what
don't
it
have
is.
enough? You don't think you have enough friends?
I haven't been invited. To any gay parties.
Something is going on with Halloween.
They don't like me. The gays don't like me. Here's what. I've turned against the gays one too many times, and they've written me out. And that's what's happened. And you know what? I apologize to the gay mafia, but I'm not going to stop going against. Like, I have opinions and I have a mouth.
Yeah, you're standing.
I got a mouth.
You had a mouth. It's small. And so that's it's so I mean, like,
I was giving Eric a blowjob the other day, and I was like, I wonder if this feels great or horrible. You know what I mean?
Did you ask him in the middle of it?
No, of course. I'm not going to ruin it. But I was just wondering, like, what it must feel like. Like, sometimes I want to, like, be able to suck my own dick.
Yeah.
Just to know what my mouth feels like. Because I feel like I'm, like, earnestly going down on the thing.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
I'm, like...
You're putting your back into it, yeah.
Honey, my back, my spine, my throat, everything's into it. But I have a feeling that it's not as good as what I think I'm giving. And yeah.
And you've never asked. Like, you don't want to hear the answer?
I'm afraid because I've always thought I was like a champion, like gold medalist type of
gold medalist?
Fillator. Like
you in the Olympics of sucking dick. You thought you really think that you'd be on the podium?
Gold. In my head, I'm thinking gold. No one can even catch me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Simone Biles of dick sucking in my head. But in reality, I don't think I'm even placing.
You're in the Olympics.
Qualifying.
You're not qualifying?
I'm not even qualifying. I think it's too much teeth. And here's what, like, because my mouth is so small.
Any. Okay.
Exactly. And I don't think my mouth isn't big enough to to deal with my teeth and a dick, I think.
I mean, okay, so
Because if my mouth is small, but if my teeth were also small,
yeah,
it would be fine. It'd be proportional.
you know what would be a great experiment is for you to fashion a penis out of like tubu, out of tofu.
Okay, and then go down on
go
it
down
and
on
see
it
if it
and see if there are.
Oh no. Okay, I'll try it. What am I doing?
I mean,
yeah.
tubu is delicious. So
Tubu is delicious. Yeah. I mean, how wide do I have to make it? How the girth?
appropriate to the to your
my
partner.
mouth?
Yeah,
Oh, to my partner.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that'll be easy.
you have to like model.
Not
it
that.
on-
Yeah, yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to model. I mean, like, because for me,
What do I do? Have him like have a tubu like in a sock and have him put his penis into the sock or something?
I mean, Peter, you're the one that was saying how you are enjoying creating stuff together now. So I
Yes,
think
we
this
are.
is a perfect activity.
right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's problem solve. Let's figure this out. Let's use Tubu in what
Okay.
way? Like, you know, I'm very curious because Tubu is like you see it, especially if you're using teeth immediately. So
Yeah,
this would be fascinating.
Not forgiving. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because I also feel the same way. I mean, I also
maybe we'll do
don't
that for a
care.
live show. Maybe
Yes.
we'll do that for a live show.
I mean, because
We'll,
my mouth is big, but my teeth are even bigger.
we'll compete, me and
Yeah.
you. Your teeth are. I know that's what I mean. So like, I feel like you should fashion your husband's. I should fashion mine, and live we should show how bad of an experience we're giving. Our poor partners. I'm sorry. Anyway,
for me, my blowjob techniques, I practice weaponized incompetence with blowjobs. So
okay. How does that work?
I just pretend I'm bad at it.
And then he goes, God, just stop.
Yeah. That's a little pro tip for you ladies out there.
Oh, that's great.
I don't know. I can figure it out.
Need to get out of mess?
Yeah.
Just gnaw.
Yeah, that's something I've taken on. I stopped really caring about that shit after I gave birth to my first child, and I was like, fuck this.
That
you
makes
know?
sense.
And you know what? And it's like kind of crazy how I forgot how to do a blowjob, and like it's kind of something that happens with pregnancy. Kind of crazy. Let's spread that and start that rumor. But yeah, I practice weaponized incompetence with that sort of stuff.
But your husband must know you're doing a thing.
I dare you to say something.
I've given you 2 children, bitch.
I dare you to say something, my friend. Say something to me about it. Would love to hear this. I'd love to hear it. With your dick in my mouth, love to hear you say it.
Because you're still putting it in. You're just saying you're bad.
Yeah, I'm letting him know how I feel.
Chompers.
Okay, my high, I'll make this really fast. My high was literally last night. I went to a queer variety night, and it was sort of like, I mean, I do a lot of drag shows in Chicago, and they are all sort of in sort of the same sort of drag space. They are traditional drag queens or comedy sort of adjacent drag queens. And it's still in the same sort of like they're lip syncing. It's RuPaul, you know, it is that sort of mainstream drag show. But last night I saw stuff that was artistic. Like, it was so inspiring to see and be inspired by something that, because a lot of the people were from the art world, and they have like MFAs from the Art Institute. Like, they are,
Yeah,
you
rich
know,
girls.
yes, they're like they do performance art. They do stuff in galleries.
Oh.
Their background,
Wealthy
is
girls.
but I don't know about that, but they were all their background and their artistic energy and efforts had traditionally been in a more artistic, pure art sense and space. And so to watch how they interpreted drag in this way and utilize the language in a totally, I mean, it was inspiring. Like, I very rarely am moved by contemporary art. And in the times I have been, it's been very exciting. And that's what I saw last night. And it's like kind of crazy to be inspired again, you know, especially when we see a lot of stuff.
Yeah. What did you see? Could you explain to us something, or you had to be there?
You had to be there, and because that's the nature of performance art. But it was much more movement and mood oriented,
Oh, cool.
less about the syncing,
lip sync, the jokes,
the attitude. I mean,
the musical theater girl.
Absolutely. And this, I mean, the look and the vibes were still immaculate, but the energy and the artistic and visual presentation was different. And you forget that earnestness and seriousness can be just as compelling. You do forget that. Yeah. Live theater.
This sounds like clown. Is this
No,
clown?
it was not. It was absolutely not. It was like Abramovich. Like, it was performance. And it was compelling and it was interesting. There was a point of view. It was exciting. It was not
cool.
Yeah, it was that. That was for me a high. And also the vibes, all of it. Like, just being in a queer space like that, like, you know, you went to a straight Halloween party and I went to like...
I know. You went to like the exact opposite.
Yes, literally the most inverse thing. Like, where even the straight people were having the queerest conversations. Like, I thought...
They were like, oh, you know, when you buy things, you really have to go to Etsy.
Yeah. No, they were literally talking about their signs. Oh, and like having an entire conversation about like their moon.
I know. When did horoscope become queer?
Absolutely.
Not horoscope, astrology.
Astrology, and it was, but they were straight, and it from even to the naked eye, it looked like a gay interaction, but it was entirely straight.
Wow.
That's what I mean. Like, even the straights had NB energy.
And that's nice.
Yes.
Okay. That's a nice space to be in.
So it was wonderful. That was a high for me. And then a low, my low was, I mean, let me tell you something. I would just say this. I'm talking about healthcare a lot because I have been trying to get psych tested for the last month or so. And let me tell you, if you are trying to be tested for ADHD and there's nothing but appointments and emails and a lot of follow-up that is required, that is the healthcare system, a nightmare. The healthcare system is failing you, and there's no better. It's almost like this is the test of whether or not I have ADHD.
If you get through it, then you get medicated.
Yeah, you get No, if you don't get through it, you get medicated. Because if you can meet these timelines, if you can answer these emails, and if you have the task-oriented focus in order to get the appointment, you do not have ADHD. If you can't cross the finish line, you do. Congratulations.
But how would the doctor ever know? Because you're not completing the thing. So.
And this is why we got to call our reps. And this is...
All right, so you've been trying to get tested for ADHD?
Yes, and just like failing at every turn. I've been like, my time management in this last like month has been, it is actually like one of the most humbling things. I think I don't know if it's with my second child, something has kicked in, but I am really like if to my children in the future, I am sorry. I'm sorry you are going to have, I'm really, field trip forms, like it's just really a tough one right now. There is no aftercare, after school activities. None of them are signed up for chess. Like it's rough. And,
It's not that rough. You're not playing chess. You're not playing after school chess, hun. Get a grip. Get a fucking grip. You're fine. You have a 2-story house and you have fucking cable. You're fine.
Okay, this is because of this attitude. Because of this attitude, my son is like, listen.
This is why I don't have kids. This is why I don't have kids. Because this is how, if my child complain, like, I'm not signed up for chess, I'm like, bitch, we got checkers in the house.
Yahtzee. All right, so I mean, yeah, it's been tough, but yeah, my lows have been just like I have not been able to cross the finish line to even get tested, and it has been an incredibly humbling experience. Fingers crossed that I get there eventually, but let me tell you, it's been tough. But that is my low. And oh wait, actually,
what?
Someone's at the door. I gotta go get. It's Shama. Shama Lama Ding Dong.
Shama Lama Ding Dong.
So it's Halloween. We're talking about it, and I was remembering. So Peter, can I ask you something? How often were you Korean for Halloween?
What do you mean, like wearing a hanbok?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did it once. I think I remember doing it once. I remember wearing a hanbok, and my mom was like, "Yeah, let's go walk the streets." But I was young. I was like 6 or something.
Okay, so for me, because I think my mom must have because Halloween is not like my parents wouldn't have remembered. They don't have any sort of association or
They don't have the day off.
They don't have the day off. They don't have the
No.
childhood memories of Halloween. There's it's not a thing that's built into their annual or yearly sort of cycle of holidays. It's not Chuseok, it's not Thanksgiving. There's things that mirror Korean holidays that there's an analog for them to understand. There's no Halloween in Korea. So every year it was a surprise. And so I just remember when I think back to all my childhood costumes, they are all I was Korean, I would say from first through 6th grade. I just show up in a Korean.
Your whole elementary school career, you were Korean?
I think, and by the way, even more embarrassingly, the same hanbok. So imagine
Oh my God.
that
What?
the hanbok just getting shorter and shorter and shorter on me, and the sleeves getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
Just wearing a mini skirt.
It's just finally I'm a slutty Korean in 6th grade. I mean, that I would say yes. I think
Oh my
I think
God.
by junior high I started wearing I was a bum many years because
I was a bum so many years. Oh my God. I would just wear a hefty bag and then tie it around my neck.
okay, so that's
Put
at least
two holes down the bottom.
That's okay. So that's at least creative. I just wore my Harmonies what the clothes that she would just regularly wear. I would just wear as a bum, and then. But I think the reason why because the thing is when we first arrived, the only other costume my mom ever purchased for me was in kindergarten. There's a picture of it. And we had arrived, and I guess when I started going to school, my mom didn't realize Halloween was a thing. And so we lived in a building, and I guess one of the other moms was like, "Oh, it's Halloween tomorrow, you have to get her a costume." So she went to the grocery store, and what was left over, because it was the night before Halloween, so there's probably this is before Amazon, so there's a different sort of thing. And I have a picture of it. I am I think it's I'm a piece of chocolate.
Are you sure it was chocolate?
It's just
It wasn't poop?
It was literally, that's what I look like. It's like a brown plastic apron. It's just brown, and it's a mask with
It's
a
a
smiley,
bar?
with a smiley face on it that's pink. So I literally look I look like poo, and it was so poorly made. It
my
just disintegrated on my
God.
body as I was trick or treating. So when I think
horrible.
back, horrible. So I think that's part of the reason why, for me, I've so invested in my children's costumes. Every year, I think about it a long time because
What are they doing this year?
my son is Harry Potter.
Okay, love.
Authentic, by the way. We're gonna put the scar on his forehead, all of it.
Glasses, wands,
all of it.
cape. Okay.
Cape, all of it. The
Wow.
uniform, Hogwarts uniform. And my daughter, I sent you the picture, is a strawberry.
Oh, yeah.
Truly.
Are you and Max going to do anything?
I mean, I might be a farmer to be a strawberry farmer, and then I guess
Okay.
Max with his vibe could just be,
Ron
Slytherin.
Weasley?
Yeah.
Slytherin. Just overall Slytherin.
Slytherin.
The vibe
is
Max
Slytherin.
is the vibe of Slytherin.
Yes. And he could just do that. And I think people would get it. They would just look at him like, "Oh, Slytherin?"
Oh, yeah. Big Malfoy energy.
Yes. Malfoy. I mean, he doesn't have the hair for it, but the energy.
No, not anymore.
What's yours this week?
So my trauma this week was it kind of connects to what we were talking about in Tops and Bottoms. In Chicago, I remember when I first got to Chicago, I was on OkCupid. Remember that app?
.com.
Old school.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah.
And then they had maybe they didn't have an app. But anyway, I was on OkCupid. And OkCupid, you had to like answer all these questions, and there was like a chemistry thing or whatever, and I had finally like matched with a guy that I thought was really cute.
Okay.
And
before that, all of them have been bad or ugly?
I just wasn't matching or whatever. It just wasn't like I wasn't into them.
Okay.
And I remember this being like the first of the match, and we were like, okay, we're gonna go out on this date, and just for like drinks because I don't want it to be too intimate. So we go out for drinks, have a great time. Turns out he's a chef. And I was like, oh my God, I love to eat. So it was like, this is amazing.
What a match made in heaven. What are the chances? You're a chef and I love to eat.
I love to eat. Some people don't care about eating. Some people are like, it's just sustenance, whatever. Like, I just eat just to eat. I know, no
who's
joy.
like that?
So many people. There are a lot of people who don't eat for joy. They're just like, I just have to eat and go. Yes, I know.
Well, you know, this is like I looked this up. There is like this study about Asian people specifically, but we are like have aggressive taste buds. So it's called a specific type of eater, but we are almost
thrill
like
seekers.
It's something that's like literally genetically in Asian people where we like spice because we have this preternatural reaction, and our taste buds literally can taste more. We experience food differently than like non-Asian people. Like, and if you look
I believe it
because if you look at the cuisine, and most Asian people I know, I don't know any Asian people that are like don't eat for joy. Unless they're like crazy dieting.
No,
like
they're
ajumas.
Korean people. They're Korean people like that. Yeah, my emo's like that. Like, yeah,
Really?
there are a lot of like, yeah, there's a lot of ajumas that are just like, oh, you know, 조금씩 먹고, you know, like they're all very like weight conscious and whatever. But anyway, so I thought this was a match made in heaven, and then he took me to like, he's a Chicago native, so he took me to like Berghoff, that like
the German
downtown, yeah, like classic places, and showed me the architecture, and like it was just really like getting hot, right?
Yeah, it's romance.
And we go back to my house after Berghoff, and we start making out and hooking up, and I start going down on him, and
your event. That's your event.
that's my event.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I'm trying to place. And this is really like connecting for me, but he's not getting hard. And I'm just like going at it. And he's just like, oh, sorry. Like, maybe, you know, like, can we just like take a nap?
And
I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then we took a nap, and then he went home or whatever. And we went on another date. It was great. And then we came back to my place, and again, we started making out, and I start going down, and nothing's happening. And it's just like, I'm like working at it, Unji.
Yeah.
Like I'm like squeezing it, you know, licking the top, biting it a little bit, you know, like punching the eyeball. Like I'm just like really trying to wake this bitch up.
You're working the bag. You're working the bag.
Yeah. I'm bruising the balls, like punching the taint, like all the tricks.
Yes.
I'm doing it, like finger up the butt, like all of it. Honey, tricks, right? And I'm like, nothing's happening. And he was like, this never happens. And I was like,
It happened last time.
It happened last time, but he's saying like with other people. And he was like, there's something like, I don't know.
He tried to, it's not me, it's you, the situation?
Yeah. And now that I think about it, it obviously was him, but I internalized that and was like, oh, I must be bad at this or whatever. You know, like I started like thinking I was bad at sucking dick. Which is what made me go pro. So like
So that's a kick in the pants you needed.
Yeah.
This is your villain origin story.
But I remember thinking like, this is not a trauma at all. This is just a funny story. But like, him being a chef and showing me around Chicago and the romance of it, like it all like should have worked. and just sexually it didn't.
Did it feel like, what did the makeout feel good?
Yeah.
Was you starting to get hard during the makeout?
No.
Okay, so this is he has a valve issue. This is
maybe there was an issue
pressure.
with him.
Yeah.
But
he's got high cholesterol.
Lay off the eggs, honey, the crab dip. But yeah, I don't know what it was, but I remember me, like I was outside my body, like I was truly like a bird, like sucking, like trying to get a worm out of the ground. Like I was really like putting my neck into it, like chicken heading, and it was. And I remember like seeing myself do that, working so hard to get this man hard that like I felt embarrassed, you know,
for your effort.
Yeah, that I was putting so much effort into it.
Well, I don't think you should be embarrassed about that. This man should. I mean, a flaccid penis is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in my life. So.
That's most penises most of the time.
This is what I'm saying. So I like
get it out of here.
Truly, it is so embarrassing. Like
I know it's sad looking.
Yes,
and sad feeling.
I mean, a flaccid penis is a penis without a job. This is an unemployed penis.
Unemployed, yes.
A drain on society, and so.
You heard it here. A flaccid penis is a drain on society. Let's be honest.
So truly, I think the fact that he had to have been embarrassed. So embarrassed.
Maybe he was. The
fact that he tried to, it's not me, it's you, the situation.
Yeah.
It's a clear indication that he was embarrassed.
Yeah, probably.
Because there's no, I mean, clearly there was interest, right?
There was, yeah. We were we were getting along. We had the same interests. We were talking about the same things, and we loved the same, you know. So like, it was cool. And I remember thinking like, the next week he teaches. I don't know if he still does, but he had been teaching cooking classes at this place nearby in Andersonville. And he was like, "Oh, you could come in for a free thing. Like, I'll teach you like something to make." And I was like, "Oh my god, this is so rom-com-y."
Yes!
Like, ooh, like throwing flour at each other and then get naked. And then I thought about getting naked and like getting on the butcher's block, and then me just like going to town on his flaccid penis for an hour and a half. And I was like,
"No,
I don't think I can do this.
You're not being paid. You're not being paid enough. You're not being paid on it." That's so. It's embarrassing for him so deeply.
It must have been some kind of problem.
Absolutely.
Now that I think about it, it must have been some kind of like physiological issue.
Because
I thought it was me.
I mean, think about it was me. And then that's what made you go pro, and that's why Peter is America's representative in the dick sucking Olympics in 2020. And that's
meet us in Oslo.
I know. I mean, like, truly, that's 100%. I mean, the fact that it did spur you to greatness is always wonderful. We love that. Everyone has a story like this, but like, no, this person is. I don't know what's going on with.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That was watching my parents die. That was exactly. All right, it's that time for our final segment, which we introduce something we're absolutely obsessed with. So sit back and bitch, get into it. All right, bitch, get into this. So I don't know how many of our listeners / viewers, etc., are into the tarot, but if you are looking for a tarot set, I'll put it up here too. This is one of my favorites that I've been using. Okay, it's called Dreaming Way Tarot. And it's by Rome Choi. It's a Korean person who the deck is written by. And the illustration is done by Kwon Shina. It's a beautiful, beautiful deck. It's very like femme forward, fantasy. It's giving you like big, over-exaggerated camp, but also like dreamy, ethereal like vibes.
Oh,
it's very like if you were like in a clown hysteria of sorts and on acid. It's that kind of vibe.
Okay.
And it really like breaks down all the like normal Rider-Waite cards into these beautiful like what I call like femme and gay presenting.
Let me see.
You know, like even the Knight of Pentacles, which is like a very masculine card.
Yes.
You know, it's just very beautiful. Like this, the Lovers, you know, with this like fairy wing in the back.
Yes.
You know, it's just really, even the card Strength, which is usually like someone taming a lion. It's just very like calm, and like this woman's hand on this like calm beast, you know, for strength.
Are you still doing tarot? Are you still doing tarot every day?
Not every day, but I still use it as a meditative practice, like once a week, a couple of times a week. It's now come to like when it was pandemic, I was doing it every day because
I know.
I had to do something. But now that we're out of that and we're more into like a quote unquote regular world, which what is regular about it? But I do it whenever I kind of need a little bit of like, I'm struggling with something stressing me out. I need like what I think or believe to be a third party you know, clarification, which is just you doing it for yourself. Yeah. But that's anything. So it's just a tool that I use. So if you guys want to get into tarot, here we go. Dreaming Way, support a Korean artist.
Oh, that's so cool. I love all of that stuff. I mean, yes. So my bitch get into it this week is bringing your own. So I've been trying to save money. It's a chore for me. I love to waste money. I love to squander opportunity. If there's something that I can pay $20 for instead of $10, sign me up. If you can sell me on something like that, like it's not like all things, but I am a fool with money. I really am a fool. Like I am.
You love to you have your parents in you.
Yes, truly. Like my parents are obsessed with declaring bankruptcy, and that is something I am working towards as well.
They are known to be financially insolvent.
They're famous for it. It's actually a skill of theirs. So I am trying to be better about this stuff. And I mean, I will say bringing your own. Like if it's coffee.
Bring your own what?
Coffee, drink, whatever version of like snack. If you're going to be out in the world in some way, like those I feel like some of the most foolish spends in my day. Like if you're just somewhere and you're like really peckish, or like you have dinner at home, or even if you're going out, like you know what I mean? Like when you go and you're feeling a little peckish and you're out in the world, that's when you spend the weird amount of money or foolish kind of money.
Because all of a sudden it's $17 for a salad and you're like, what? Yeah. Because you got to tip and tax,
You got to tip and tax. Or you're like, you're at the Starbucks and you're just getting something. Or even if you go to it's hard.
You're becoming one of these ladies who have like packed things in her purse, like a little sandwich or like a little meal or something like that.
I am.
Okay. All right. That's great. I mean, you have 2 children, so that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, I do need to save money.
That makes sense.
We are hoping to send at least one of them to college. So, like, I would say that they will
college schmollege. Who needs it? What a racket. What a racket. You didn't go to college and you turned out like that.
I did go to college.
No, you didn't. Didn't you drop out?
No, I did, but then I went back. It took me 8 years.
Oh, you went back?
Yeah, it took me 8 years.
Oh, wait. I never knew that, Anji. Yeah. You finished?
Mm-hmm. I went back.
What did you get a degree in?
English literature with a minor in Black World Studies.
This is how you break your mom's heart. This is what you do.
It's like I gave her a little bit of hope, and then I was like, no. No. Yeah, no, it took me 8 years to finish, but because I went back and I had to work and I went to night school and all that stuff. So
right.
I remember telling like an improv boy that I was like, in order to finish college, I had worked 2 jobs and went to night school and like all this stuff. I remember him recoiling and being like, ugh, I would never want to work that hard. And I was like, I don't want to work that hard either, bitch. Like, what are you talking about?
I have to. I have to.
Like, no one wants to work this hard.
Like, boy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But my bitch get into it is truly like getting something that only is like reusable, but also that you want to use. I mean, even if it's
get something expensive.
That's what I mean.
Get something expensive. I lost of many things.
A Yeti.
And when a Yeti, get a Yeti because this is my water bottle.
Yes.
Getting something expensive makes you pay attention. At least me.
Absolutely.
Because if I have something like schmickety schmackety from TJ Maxx or whatever, it was $3.99 and the plastic's melting into my fucking mouth, you're gonna lose it anyway, and you're gonna end up buying 16 of them.
Yes.
If you buy something sturdy, and especially something that weighs a lot,
yes,
you're going to take care of it.
Absolutely.
You are. So I say invest, especially into like drinkware, foodware, that kind of stuff.
Because ultimately, you do still save. Because this is like a small, delicate look. It's not
It's
even.
a cutie.
It's a cutie.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's enough and it's small enough that it goes, once I'm done with it, it goes into the bag and it's fine because it's secure and it locks. And it's just, ultimately, it was like, whatever, $15. But I use it instead of buying and going to a Starbucks or going into, because I mean, any sort of indie coffee shop now, let me know if you can buy
for coffee.
Yeah, let me know if you get a coffee under $10. So,
truly, like, what is happening?
We gotta call.
It's
our
out of
reps.
control.
We gotta call our reps.
Just use that same clip over and over again, Christine. Like, don't even add this in.
You gotta call our reps. You gotta get healthcare. We gotta get the price of coffee down, because that's what I mean. It's like you're in
out of control.
If you go to an independent coffee shop, and again, if you're there, and if I'm spending time in one, I always buy a coffee. I'm spending that time there. I'm actually renting a desk at an independent coffee shop, right? So I buy whatever. But I mean, if you're
using the Wi-Fi,
absolutely.
you're taking a shit in the bathroom, the
100%.
napkins are
Thank you. So
you're paying.
I'm paying for it. But if you're on the go, I'm not a croissant and coffee, $20. You want no. Living shouldn't be. You don't need to pay to live like that throughout your day. Now, when you're trying to make money. So my bitch get into it is making and being thoughtful and making intentional choices during your day and bringing your own BYO.
All right, baby. BYO and BYO opinions to our ratings because we need your reviews.
Slick.
So review us, check us out on the Patreon, support us if you can, and we'll be back next week with another thrilling episode. Thank you so much. Goodbye.